Christmas is coming!
What? Yeah.
The theme of Christmas gets Tom very excited.
As opposed to the mechanics.
And that's what we're talking about today.
Think about
Thematic games.
The mechanism's the thing you have to go through to do Christmas.
I'm Tom
That
Bassel.
food doesn't make itself. I'm Z
right.
Garcia. Hi.
And I'm Sam Heatley. Welcome back, folks.
We're doing a series on the 12 games of Christmas. In each video, we're talking about 12 different games. In this one, we're talking about thematic games. Games where the theme of the game is really strongly implemented into how you play.
That put you in a world that you are excited to live in, right? So,
Well,
well, I mean, excited to visit.
Immersive.
You know,
Got
immerse
it.
yourself into, right? You want to be in that world. You want to see what's going on. You know, these are usually epic games. They give you that feeling. And we try to pick games, of course, that are available that you can get now. They're not all brand new. You might be aware of some of these, but they are ideally available. And if you want to get some of these, head over to CoolStuffInc.com. Pick them up for friends or family, or even for yourself.
Yourself.
Just, you know,
Merry Christmas to you.
yeah, it's okay. Celebrate you.
Well, if you want to do that, you can win a $50 gift certificate to Cool Stuff by entering a contest. In each of our 9 videos on the 12 games of Christmas, we have a contest, and you can enter all 9 of them, all sponsored by Gstone. Gstone is a free app that does all kinds of stuff. It's like a social network for board gamers. And in this particular video, if you make a club in it, you are entered into the contest. So there's all sorts of clubs that you can create, game clubs, and, well, maybe you want to make a very specific game club.
Sure, right.
Game clubs for 2 players, and then you have 2 people in it, I guess.
That could work.
Well, maybe 3 people and you switch out.
You could make it about a game. You could make it about a theme, right? I mean, you could do that.
Sure.
You can make it about whatever you want. So, yeah, create a club and invite people over, yeah.
Could
So-
make it about yourself.
Why
A single
not?
club. I would not necessarily recommend that, but if you enter that, December 2nd, we'll pick one of those people and you'll get a $50 Cool Stuff gift certificate. So now, while you're thinking about that, here's some games you can use. You can get using that certificate.
All right. Yeah.
So your first game is karate themed.
No.
What is it?
Woohoo! I'm gonna try to get you to guess it.
We
Just
have
using-
a list right in front of us. We know
that's
what it is.
Never mind. My number 1 is Western Legends. Western Legends is an incredibly immersive and thematic game. You literally are going to be taking on the role of a person within the Old West, trying to make their way, trying to gain the most money and points and so forth and so on. You can do so in a couple of different ways, by taking the good path, kinda, or the bad path. You can be a sheriff, you can be the outlaw. There's a number of different things you can do. You can just be Joe
Outlaw.
Schmo, trying to make your way in the universe.
No way, I want to
It
be
can-
Big Bad Joe Schmo.
Whatever.
That's a horrible,
You do you.
outlaw name.
And I will arrest you when you doing you. But that is Western Legends. Very thematic, very immersive, and I really enjoyed it a lot. This is a great implementation of that Wild West theme. You should go check it out. Western Legends.
All right, let's change settings to a more horrific one for Arkham Horror 3rd Edition. This is
I'm
the
out.
latest one. This is the latest Arkham Horror, pretty much the one you're going to bump into in the night if you go looking for the game. And this is a game in which all the players are going to be cooperating, trying to stop these monsters from exploding into our world.
Ew.
It's a period setting, right? So you're looking at like 1920s, 1930s Arkham, Massachusetts. And in the whole
Is that
thing,
what that is?
I'm pretty sure where that's supposed to be set.
Massachusetts?
Well, now we know. I'm never going to Massachusetts
Ain't
again.
going to-
Don't
bet
go
no
in there,
how.
especially in the 20s and 30s, because monsters are about. Work together, roll some dice, push them back, way back. And you just
That was
might,
pretty bad.
You just might win. It's a very immersive game, really cool, dark, mysterious setting. So check it out, Arkham Horror.
Maybe you want to play a game, but you don't know what theme you want to play, so you play with all of them. That's the next one, Funkoverse. Now, most of you who are probably watching this have either seen or have a Funko Pop figure. They're these little things they've made, a gazillion of them, and that is not much of an
correct.
exaggeration.
That is a pretty correct.
This game has them, they're a little bit smaller, and then you can play them against each other even if you want to. There's DC, there's Harry Potter, there is
Golden Girls.
Rick and Morty, and yeah, the Golden Girls. which sounds like a joke, but actually the Golden Girls are some of the most
you mess
powerful
with the Golden
fighters
Girls.
in this game, for
They
sure.
can tear some stuff up.
And it's a really light game. You can play, it's mostly a 2-player game, but you can play more players than that if you want to. And if you know anybody who likes these Funko figures, they're going to really love this game. I think it's a lot of fun. The Funkoverse. Any of these sets can be played by itself, so you just pick one and get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Golden Girls.
That's a good one.
All right, here we go. My next pick is a game called Star Wars Outer Rim. Now, this one is
Trying to get
really
flagged.
if you want to take and really kind of explore the extended universe that Star Wars is in, this is one that really kind of grabs that theme. Because while you don't play necessarily many of the big characters in the universe, you're going to be able to interact with them at the different planets. Now, you are going to be able to be Boba Fett or Han Solo. So you get that
Not
base is
important
covered,
characters.
so to speak. But a lot of the other characters in the universe are ones that you interact with these different planets, and it really kind of pulls that fringe of the universe, bottom of the bucket type of feel that the Star Wars universe had, especially in the Outer Rim territories. So I really enjoy this game. It is incredibly thematic. It is mechanical, but the theme really shines through. So that's my number 2, Star Wars Outer Rim.
I'm going to go ahead and keep it in the first half of the past century here with my pick, Detective City of Angels. In this game, of course, all the players are going to be, detective PIs, gumshoes.
There's no angels in this game, to clarify.
And in it, you are investigating something, usually a murder, right? Something happened. All the players are
that's the case
working
of it.
individually. They are not working together. You are trying to be the one to solve this case. And you are going to be given clues. The game has a really interesting questioning system in which you can pick a character out there. You all right? It's not going to be you, is it? I don't want to.
I accuse him!
I'm verklempt. I'm all
I don't
choked
want to
up.
have to investigate a murder all of a sudden. What you put in there, Tom? Wasn't you? I'm sure it
Just
wasn't.
went down the wrong pipe.
It's
Sure
the
it
same thing I'm
wasn't
drinking,
you,
I
yeah.
think.
Sure. This is a really fun pick if you want to be a detective. This is, like Sam said, Star Wars in a box. Well, this is being a detective in a box. Gorgeous game.
Help, I'm in a box.
Check it out. What do you got?
I got, there's a lot of escape room type games out these days, and this one has a pretty strong storyline in it. That's Escape Tales Low Memory. Now, unlike Z's game, this takes place in the future, and you are trying to, well, I don't really want to spoil it. It's just, all I can say is a futuristic story with some dark overtones.
You're running out of RAM.
It's actually 3 stories put together. And each story is told from the perspective of someone else, but it's all puzzly. You're trying to figure out these puzzles, but they put in some pretty strong story elements into this game that you may find yourself not maybe on the edge of your seat, but I was there a couple times like, what's going to happen next? I like this a lot. A lot of puzzles. I think they say 6 hours of gameplay, and it's even slightly replayable. You could find some puzzles you haven't done before. That's Escape Tales Low Memory.
You don't have to play them all at once, right? It's not like a 6 hour shot.
It's not a 1 6 hour game. You can play it, and you can, if you play each character's thing, you have like 2 hour blocks.
Okay.
You could even break those up if you want to.
Cool.
Sweet. All right, my third pick is a game called Jaws. Now, this is from the original horror classic way back in, the 70s, I think it is. And this really is a cool thematic game. You actually play the game in 2 acts, which I don't necessarily like that aspect of it, but for this theme, it really works. In the first act, you're playing, one person is going to take on the role of the shark, and they're going to be trying to eat swimmers that are at these different beaches. The other players are trying to protect the beach goers from that shark. And once that ends, then you go to the second act, and how well the shark does in the first act determines how hard he is to beat in the second act.
Oh, okay.
So I really like that aspect, how they tie the 2 acts together, and it's very thematic. It's hard for the humans to do well in the second act anyway, but it's incredibly hard if the shark does well in the first act.
Eat lots of humans.
Really, really a fun game. I've enjoyed it a lot.
You take nothing else away from this video. Eat lots of humans.
Soylent Green. That's my number 3 pick, Jaws.
Speaking of eating humans, I guess I'm feeling nostalgic here because this is another old-timey sort of setting. This is a game called Horrified.
Horrified.
It's all about these movie monsters, the classic movie monsters.
Universals.
That's right. All the players are going to be working together against a couple of these different monsters, maybe 3 of them. How many you fight depends on the difficulty you want. And they're going to be chasing you around, townsfolk around. You are collecting different things, trading those things in order to vanquish the evil that is taking over the town and walk away victorious. Really neat game. Very much about talking to each other and figuring out what the plan of attack is. But it's also a fairly light one. It brings a good theme out. But I would say you can play this with just about anybody. So if you like the setting here, you like this theme, you maybe want a little bit of a spooky game night, tongue-in-cheek spooky anyway, this is a good one. Horrified.
Jaws is a universal monster. Why wasn't Jaws on Horrified?
Oh, expansion to Horrified.
I don't think. Okay, well, we'll see.
Jaws.
Alrighty. Well,
happen.
I'm gonna jump into once again another mixed match theme game like Funkoverse, and this one's called Unmatched. And Unmatched, you are taking famous people from historical lore, like you have Sinbad and King Arthur and Alice against Medusa, and you pick one of these people. And in fact, they've made expansion for this. They even have Bruce Lee expansion from Mondo Games.
Say what?
And there's more coming, Jurassic Park stuff. But you can take these and you pick one and you have a deck of cards. So Funkoverse, you're rolling dice and going back with the little Funko Pops. Here you have little plastic figures, and you might have a person and a couple henchmen, and you go up against the other person. The strategic back and forth, I really like it. It's a reprint of an older game, but you would never know that. It feels new. And I really like the strategy. I like picking King Arthur this time. Who's King Arthur going up against? Oh, Bruce Lee? Let's see how he does.
No, King Arthur's going down.
Nah, I think...
Bruce Lee?
No, King Arthur's got him.
Nah.
1-inch punch versus Excalibur.
1-inch punch.
But see, that's what makes this game fun, is that you can do that. That whole 1-inch punch versus Excalibur. It's just a fun thing to do. So that's Unmatched.
All right.
That's me.
Back to you.
My number 4.
Let's get out of horror.
Nope. Going back in. This one's called Monster Slaughter. Monster Slaughter is a game by Ankama Games, and it's a French conglomerate of designers, and it is very, very fun thematic. What you're doing here is you're taking on the role of a family of monsters, zombies,
Mama and Papa.
The Bayou people, or whatever you call them, the
Vampires,
werewolves, whatever it might be, and you're trying to get these kids out of your house because they've come here to do their teenager
So it's
stuff.
the 3 bears, basically. Who's been in my porch? I'll kill you.
That's pretty much what it feels like, and it is incredibly thematic. It's really cool, has a lot of neat mechanisms. The miniatures are really good as well. Has a very cool graphic design as well. Very fun game. You need to go try this out. It is pretty large, but it's worth it.
Kind of flips the whole genre. Like usually you're the people running from the monsters. Here you're the monsters.
Yep, that's Monster Slaughter.
Fun. If you want to be the baddies, this is a good one. All right, now let's say instead you want to visit a fantasy world and explore a lot of story in that world. Near and Far is a good pick for that. In this one, you are going to be traveling, you are going to be having adventures, gathering a few things, but there's a lot of story-driven content. All your mishaps and things you discover and leads you follow down, characters that keep resurfacing, and you have, again, interaction with them. This is a great game for folks that enjoy a lot of story content with their gaming. And there is a lot in this box. There's a large book that you are going to be flipping through that has the playing surface, basically a map on it. And you can go from one map to the next map as the story continues. A lot here to explore. Very charming artwork. This, like I said, if you like fantasy and you like diving in deep, Near and Far is going to be for you.
Cool.
Speaking of fantasy, that's also the theme of my last game, Skulk Hollow. In Skulk Hollow, one player is going to play a bunch of woodland creatures who are living peacefully, and the other person's a guardian, some giant stone guardian that comes out of the land. And so one big creature, and the woodland creatures are jumping on different. You have a board that your creature is, and the woodland creatures are jumping around on this board trying to fight this big monster. There are 4 giant monsters you can be. There are 4 different leaders you can pick of the woodland creatures. So 16 different combos, and you can go back and forth. It's a 2-player game only, but it's a really entertaining one. Really light, takes about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes at the most. And there's a lot of combinations in there. Great components, great art, really fun. That's Skulk Hollow. Man, a lot of different kinds of themes. We got horror and detectives and Star Wars and Western and all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
Hopefully you find a game in there that you like.
Or that you can, again, get somebody and they like the theme. Give them a great gift, a gift that if they like fantasy or they like, scary movies, you've got great choices for them. Surprise them. Give them something nice.
Yeah.
All right, don't forget to enter the contest, as we mentioned at the beginning of the video. And we're going to keep going here. There's more of these videos to come. Check out the other ones. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I am Z Garcia.
Sam Healy. See you on the flip side, folks. Take care.
Thanks so much for watching another Dice Tower video. If you enjoy our videos, subscribe to the channel for more fun, comprehensive board game coverage. Also, consider joining us at one of our events. Come to Dice Tower Retreat, a small, intimate gathering where gaming is king. Join us for Dice Tower Cruise, the largest board game cruise. Attend Dice Tower West in Las Vegas for gaming fun on the West Coast, or Dice Tower East in Orlando in sunny Florida. Dice Tower Conventions, the friendliest gaming conventions on Earth. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.